United Christian Church of Christ. This was the Oddfellows Hall, and it was a wood frame building that's long ago been plastered over. And the Oddfellows Hall is a men's club. They had black men's Oddfellows Hall, and they had white Oddfellows Hall. This was like a community center. This is where they had a library inside the building. A lot of the kids would read here. They were even celebrating the Goombay Festival here as far back as 110 years ago. We think of Goombay as a recent thing. It started in the Grove. The modern incarnation started about 1978-79 at Grand Avenue and Douglas Road. But actually, they had an earlier Goombay thing here well over 100 years ago, and this was a center. But it's also interesting to note that the library was here, and a lot of the kids that were readers in the library, they were invited on Sundays sometimes by Kirk and Mary Barr Monroe. And so you have white kids and black kids being read stories to by this world-famous boys writer, Kirk Monroe. We were at La Brisa. We saw, in fact, I failed to mention that to you. I mentioned all the people who live in La Brisa. I failed to mention the fact that Kirk Monroe and Mary Barr Monroe lived on that property. He was a great writer of stories. Her mom was a great novelist. And so the kids in this community, as well as the white kids in the community, would be invited by the Monroes to their house on a Sunday. And he would read stories to them. And then he would make ice cream for them. I mean, you can't beat that. You got a world-famous novelist and the daughter of a world-famous novelist. They're reading stories to you, and then they give you ice cream. You've heard the story, there's no free lunch. I mean, that was one of the greatest things imaginable. So it all emanated from the Oddfellows Hall, which served a lot of purpose. Now, the building next to it is a replacement, a mock-up of the first home here. That was the home of Mariah Brown. And it was in pretty bad shape about 20 years ago, and Hurricane Andrew did a lot of damage to it. So that building there is a replacement building of Mariah Brown's home. That goes back to 1889, 1890. Be real careful, guys. You got a lot of cars around here. I want to make sure you're okay. Now, something else I want you to look at from a distance, I want you to look across the street at the Shotgun House. See, that's a double-pin shotgun house. There's two houses knitted together by a common home.